friends! I'm Miss Alejandra from the Orland Park Public Library. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a book named Cinder. This is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. It's the first book in the Lunar Chronicles series. There's 4 books altogether with an additional novella and then an additional prequel novella. They're all fantastic reads. The books in the main series are actually remakes or retellings, of fairy tales. So Cinder is based off, as you can probably guess, Cinderella. And then they just kind of go from there. Each book introduces a new set of characters, and that set of characters is sort of the main focus. And then at the end, they all tie in really well together, all of their stories, all of their lives, moving toward one specific point. So Cinder starts off with our main character named Cinder, who is a cyborg. This also takes place way in the future. No country has the name that they have now. So she is in New Beijing, which is actually suffering from a pandemic. And so she's a cyborg, which is not very accepted in her society. There's cyborgs, there's androids. Her best friend is an android. And then there's another planet altogether, Luna, so the moon, and those people are called lunars. So they live on the moon, and they have very specific powers where they have glamours, and they can sort of make you see what they want you to see, so they can manipulate what they look like, what you're feeling. So in general, they're very feared, not really accepted. So Cinder is just a mechanic in her shop, and then Prince Kai of New Beijing comes around, and he wants help with his android, and he's been told that she's the best mechanic, and that's kind of how Cinder and our main male role meet, and it's actually a really interesting way for them to meet, because he didn't know that she was a girl, he didn't know that she was young, he just knew that he was looking for the best mechanic in New Beijing, and it kind of goes from there. With the pandemic that's going on, the only way that the world honestly can get a cure is by talking to lunars, trying to come up with a deal with them, offer them anything in exchange for the antidote, which only they have. So Prince Kai is meeting with Lavana, who is the queen of Luna, and after a while you kind of notice, or they decide, that the best way for a real alliance to form between Luna and the world is for Prince Kai to marry Lavana, and form that alliance and form that bond. So that's where Cinder comes in. She goes to the ball, which they have, where they're going to announce the engagement, and that's kind of where everyone starts to meet. Lavana realizes that Cinder looks a little familiar, and she's trying to figure out why, and why she seems to have special powers and special abilities. So that's kind of where the series really starts off, and then it leads into the next book, which is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and that's really the kickoff of the series, and it's really fantastic. It's a great read. It does have different points of view at different points, so you do get to see a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes with Prince Kai, and you get to see what's going on with Cinder, and each of her books switches on and off, so you always know what's happening, you can always kind of see what's coming. Because they're fairy tale retellings, they're not super hard to guess what's going to happen. Chances are, if you're familiar with the fairy tales, you might see what's coming, but the way that Marissa Meyer creates the world and creates all of these characters, it makes you want to keep reading, it makes you want more. She does a fantastic job of building the world and giving the readers, all of the information so that they can sort of put it together. in general, I'd highly, highly recommend it. It's one of my absolute favorite series, and it's also very relevant if you're looking for something to read while we are at home. Um, it's just a really good book, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to enjoy it as much as I did. It is available from Orland Park. We have it in our catalog, and I really hope that you enjoy it. Thanks, guys. Bye.